And welcome back, everyone. After a more lengthy break than expected, due to a bit of a thriller that was going on in one of the other matches, we are back and ready to get straight into the action. We will be casting EQNX versus Joel. The pick ban has already happened. It is the lower bracket semi-final. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, that
lower
is
bracket
correct.
Semi-final. We are down to the top 4 teams of the tournament. Joel being Kuzi. It was there on the screen for a moment, but I've missed it. It is Kuzi and Dvinho against Brain. Against Brain and Trident, who we've watched thoroughly yesterday already, having a belter of a match, and they had just another one. The maps that are picked, let me see if I can remember. It was Carry On, followed by Enchant and Frambuzi. We saw Joel, if I'm not mistaken, on Enchant yesterday, where they were, saying that they were impressive is a bit of an understatement. They were very, very strong on that map, so good pick by them. And going on, and the match will be starting here in just a moment. Doogie, are you excited?
Yes, I'm as excited as my pixels on the camera. So wait, no, that's not a lot. I'm more excited than pixels on my camera. So let's go into the first round here on Carry On, a map made by Doogie. I'm curious to see how Joel and EQNX is gonna match up here. I have high expectations to Dvinho and Kuzi, but we also know that the EQNX, they are in top 4 for a reason, and that reason is that Dvinho made the first mistake here.
Good that you're already seeing the match, because we aren't seeing it yet here live on the stream. Our production team's game has crashed. So we do need a moment here until we get live into the action. But yeah, Dvinho has made an early mistake here, but it is Kuzi leading out in front. So there might be a chance here still to be picked up a draw, or maybe even a victory.
Trident is right behind Kuzi though, so there is a chance that he can snipe him at the end.
There is
Kuzi into the red booster. Yep. And I'll tell you one thing, that if the map hadn't been updated, Trident would have hit the middle section. So the gate checkpoint seems to have worked out for the round at least.
We've talked yesterday a little bit with one of the mappers of one of the competition maps, Anderson, obviously, and they were talking a bit of shit about this one. So, do you have any retort to that?
Anderson talking shit. I mean, that's to expect. It's to be expected by people from Esbjerg. There's not much you can say to that. It's a different type of map, that's for sure. And yes, Rabbi, I think we know that we are not watching in-game right now, but game crashed for the production, so...
Make up some time here, as I see production rejoining the server, so that could be Good news. Doing it in the middle of a round, like an absolute boss. Kuzi crashes into the wall, and it should indeed be a round here for EQNX and Molotov.
It will be.
Putting their lead up to a 1-2 scoreline. Brain Deck crashing the finish could have been
That's not supposed to happen.
And ladies and gentlemen, we can finally see the actual map that is happening. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm using the let's see as that is bad phraseology on my part. But we can finally see. And what we are seeing is a decent start by all 4 drivers so far in this first map of the lower bracket semi-final. Joel now pushing it quite drastically on the reactor. Actually manages to get the reactor first as Dvinho, but can't quite overtake Brain. It's like I was about to say, it's 2 1v1s that are happening right now, but as I was about to say, Trident just makes a slight mistake touching the outside line, but then again, Kuzi making another mistake, Dvinho taking the lead. Still looking like a draw situation right now, but it is not decided yet. I think Trident crashed out there. No, it was Brain who crashed out. Really, really unfortunate for them. Now being over 3 seconds behind, putting the ground firmly into the grasp of Joel. As Dvinho has Trident over half a second behind. Kuzi trying their hardest, getting a slowdown, but Brain is too far behind.
Struggle with the
Vinyo
gear.
will take the round victory. And Trident picks up second. Kuzi third, Brain fourth. Overall scoreline now 3-1 after 5 rounds being played.
Yep, one draw. That is 3-1. That's only one draw. Math is hard today. I'm curious. Let's see. This was the pick of EQNX though, so if they want to win, I think they want to... Oh, big mistake by Kusi in the very beginning there. Pretty much leaves it to Dwinjo to win this round if they want to get a tie. Brain, great. Yeah. Reactor drift. Good outside. No one's really touched there. Let's look at I'm looking at Trident just to see if any mistakes happened. But Brain and Trident 1-2 right now. Oh, Trident not on the best line going into this ice. Will he survive this? It's a little bit sketchy. Hits the... Yeah.
Oh, this is not good. Kuzi now having a chance to overtake Trident here and make it more interesting. At the same time, at the front, it's Brain and Vinyo. It's two 1v1s going on right now, about 3 seconds apart on the same map. Kuzi with a little bit more of a deficit. Vinyo now has to potentially overtake Brain. Is pushing for it. Final ice slide to go. Brain, just barely picks up the red booster. Trident does get it as well. Does mean EQNX and Molotov are closing the gap. They are
3-2.
Yeah, they are closing the gap.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to mention. Yeah,
go.
Continue you first.
Yeah, we had the B2 guys saying this was going to be a stomp, but right now EQNX is putting up a fight against Joel. It is their map pick, but 3-2. It's not looking so abysmal as people might have it. I think EQNX they have some value in this map and a map match, and I think we can definitely expect to see some close rounds here. They have driven some very low 108 times in Kusi with another mistake, but so does Brain.
Also, yeah.
And Trident and Dwinjo is pretty much playing for the win. Dwinjo going so close to the barrier there, barely manages to get the jump into the ice section here. Dwinjo with a much better exit. This is going to prove very, very important. But Brain is just way too far behind, like 6 seconds now.
Yeah, Trident
it really needs to rely on Trident to get this round win.
Yeah, to secure a draw. You mentioned correctly that this is the map pick of EQNX. The decider map is Framboos, which funnily enough was the map pick of EQNX yesterday. So if they can keep their equity alive and push it to a third map, they might still have a little bit of a chance going into the final map. This time around though, Brain just with a little bit of a too big mistake. Vinyo with a nice time there as well, giving another round win to Joel, putting the lead up to 4-2. Over halfway we are right now, or after this round we will be halfway through the rounds played. And Joel looking to build a bit of a gap.
Gap that's sort of expected, but let's hope for no mistakes. We've seen Kusi make the same mistake at the reactor drift twice now. So if Joe wants to just dominate a bit more, want to eliminate those mistakes and ensure that you can get to the... Oh, this time Trident makes a mistake there, and it's not really, as I said, not what you want. You want to be in the match at the end, and Brain touching the exit of the dirt as well. He struggles to finish this jump, so looking very rough for EQNX this round, and this will be a slide out for Kusi, but doesn't matter too much. Loses 0.2 seconds or so, but Dwinjo just pushing away in the front with the big mistakes having happened for EQNX. Not too much to expect, and I think we can expect a 5-2 scoreline at the end of this round.
Yeah, I believe that after the mistake by Trident, the call was made to Brain. Brain then wanting to just push the outside dirt a little bit more to potentially secure a round win. Didn't end up working out for them, and Joel, with a decent time by Dwinjo, are able to pick up another round win. 5-2 now. Getting up into this a little bit more decisive territory. But it's
getting dangerous now.
Yet. Yeah, for sure. I mean, so far we've had one draw only, so we're still playing to 7. but still only 2 points that Joel now needs in order to secure the first map of the lower bracket semi-final. And this round so far looks quite close, about halfway through the map. This was a drift that has caused some struggles for EQNX. They're outside, they're trying, just touching, over pushing it there, maybe a little bit. And it is Kuzi and Dvinho now hunting down Brain. Actually Trident not even losing that much time. Still somewhat within a chance, only 2.5 tenths behind.
Brain Dvinho hitting the pillar.
Yeah, the pillar there, hitting the pillar, losing out more time than Trident had with their mistake. So it is now a 2v1 up front in favor of EQNX, but with this mistake by Brain, very much looks like Kuzi might be able to pick up the round victory here and secure a draw, or at least a draw. But it does look like the EQNX and Molotov players trying going for a very wide line there. Not sure if that is that fast, but it is enough to secure the draw here.
I mean, with a red booster like that, second draw, yeah, but with a red booster like that, you definitely don't want to go wide. You just want to enter it as fast as possible and get as close to the inside pole so you can get shot into the finish. 5-2. At least 2 more rounds left here, but let's see if EQNX can at least push it a bit further. They don't have that many more draws to play on if they want to catch up, because you don't want to just draw your way to the finish line if you're behind with 3. You have to somehow clutch out some victories to get that to become a bit higher of a number, preferably around 6 to win this one. Trident has made a small mistake being half a second behind the leader in Brain. Brain is doing well to keep Joel behind him. And Dvinho with a big slide out.
And Brain
into the pillar. That is just unfortunate.
There. And we've talked about it before. Yesterday we saw Joel on Enchant. They were almost untouchable. So it is really on EQNX and Molotov to pick up this map victory.
Actually, by Kuzi here, and Trident overtakes.
Trident overtakes. Could this swing the round at least into another draw position? You're not going down further. Is it Dvinho who leads Brain? Yeah, just about 9 and 12 seconds behind. Not what either player wants to do. But it does end up being enough to secure another draw here. Good effort by Trident to stay close enough to pounce on this small mistake there by Kuzi in the end.
Yes, close enough is just like sometimes not. Oh!
Early mistakes.
Okay. Big mistakes here, but sometimes close enough is not good enough. When you see these players in Dvinho and Kuzi make those type of mistakes in rounds like that, you have to be there to catch the mistake and get a point. And this round is a little bit of a mess, leading on early. 3 big mistakes before the dirt section. Let's see if they can somehow manage to claw it back. Kuzi's gonna have to make a big mistake in front, but Dvinho lost the gear again and clip. It's a little bit hard to perspective. Dvinho with another mistake here. And I think Trident will be able to catch 3rd place. Just looking like a draw formation.
3rd place, yeah.
But everyone is split 2 seconds between each other right now.
But in this situation, with the scoreline, a draw favors the Joel team. It would be the 4th draw, so now 6 points would be enough to take victory overall, which means that Joel is now on map point.
They indeed are.
Unless Dvinho doesn't finish. Let me cope. Unfortunate.
And Brain with a good round.
Yeah, it's not looking too great here
for toxic?
EQNX.
Is it toxic to type MR for map review or messy round?
That he wrote good round.
Okay, no big mistakes in the start here. All 4 people into the reactor flick. And getting quite close. No mistakes in the reactor drift as well into the outside dirt. Kuzi and Dvinho is really pushing. It seems like there was a small mistake by Dvinho, but he still made the jump. Kuzi out front, edging out Brain just a little bit here. Twinjo has made quite a few mistakes on this fight, but managed to keep it together now, going very close to the pole, overtaking Brain as well, looking to cement their 1-2 in this round. And it has been a few rounds since Joel they picked up a round win on this map, so let's see if Twinjo can continue to keep Brain behind him, but Brain with a much better line here. Twinjo going a bit tighter on the drop down. Brain needs to somehow overtake Kusi in the end to secure a round win, but makes a mistake instead, and that will allow for Joel to get their 6th round and even the match win as well. I'm not sure if they're gonna play it out,
I'm
but
not sure. Yeah, I do believe the match has been decided. Does look like they might be playing out. Maybe that's what caused them to play so long in the last time around.
Maybe,
they
yeah,
are
but they
also not aware that this is already over. But another mistake there early on by Trident pretty much seals the fate here for EQNX Molotov and allows Joel to pick up an easy victory. A potentially easy victory. Brain with the tech abuse at least trying their hardest to fight back. But Joel looking confident, looking comfortable, looking fast as well. And delivering on the promise of being potentially the better team here. Brain sliding out.
Big slide out.
Twinjo now all alone in front. Over a second in the lead ahead of Trident. And now it is just a parade until the finish. As I say that though, Kusi with a mistake. Trident coming back into it. But Brain just too far back to maybe make it into a draw, even though it doesn't look like it. Trident needs to take round victory here, but Twinjo leads out in front. And ladies and gentlemen, it will be Joel who pick up the first round, the first map of the lower bracket semifinals, leading now overall in maps 1-0 over EQNX and 7-2 in rounds here on Carry On.
Yep. And going to Enchant, a map made by Tone. Very nice mixed ice maps. I'm curious to see. But if you said Joel was overcooking on that one yesterday, this might be a tough ask for EQNX to get us to map 3, but we can hope.
They were really, really quick on this one yesterday. So even as a diehard EQNX supporter, my hopes are somewhat dashed. But that doesn't mean that you should Kusi Masterclass incoming on Enchant. Yeah, that's sadly what I believe will be happening here as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm an EQNX fan. I'm an EQNX caster. I hope that EQNX can do something here. But I don't really believe it will happen. I'm sorry.
We need to bring out a bucket of coke for you, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry to even to have to say this, especially because I know that Brain might be rewatching this and has to hear me say these things. But they are really, really good. They are really, really good on Enchant. So
they just need to bring out the in-game now.
Yeah. I'm scared that we kind of already saw it. This one was a very good decider that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
But it wasn't really EQNX's best map, I believe. And again, Kusi being extremely fast here. I believe they were on average about half a second faster than what we have seen by EQNX yesterday. But we are going into a first round and 2 early mistakes there. Where did Trident go? Another mistake by Trident early on.
Okay, struggling with the start. That's okay. Kusi with an early touch. Okay, this is Brain's point to pick up, or Brain's, how to say, his draw to make out. If Trident has already made 2.5 seconds of mistake, we won't see a lot. But even with a mistake by Kusi hitting that pole, Brain on an interesting line there.
Brain going for the low jump.
In this sort of case, it's a no jump instead.
Yeah, I mean, you have to try something, right? If you are overall, if you believe that you're the slower player potentially, you need to try something. Didn't quite work out there. Try to make another mistake. And Kuzi and Vinyo driving off into the sunset, leading to an half-second. Vinyo, sketchy on the exit, might need to go safe finish here. Still tries for the risky, and doesn't make it. Where is Brain? Tried it, barely makes it. Where is Brain?
He's way too far back.
Yeah, I don't know if Brain had to respawn once or twice, or what has happened there, but even with the safe finish by Vinyo, they are able to still pick up the first round. Doogie.
Hello. Yes. No one made a mistake. Yeah, no one made a mistake this time around. So we have all four getting into the first section of the map, and no one touching the first pillar except for Brain. Honestly, touching that one is not too bad, since you still have reactive on. You lose maybe 0.2 or 0.3, and that's where we see him right now. Trident trying to catch up to Twinjo and Kuzi, doing quite well. Manages to stay 0.2 behind him, not going for the triangle line. This is going to be a full messy exit. Okay, full mess out of that triangle line. That's karma for not doing triangle. Then you just sort of lose grip.
A bit of an input there from yesterday's match. They have been going for this non-triangle line quite a lot.
Okay.
And to be honest, I haven't seen it pay off often. Because oftentimes the corner afterwards is a little bit too tight, and then you slide out there. Even if you don't hit the wall, you still lose a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from Twinjo, driving a 106.1 is quite fast. I believe the fastest we've seen yesterday was a 105.8 by Kuzi, I'd say. Maybe a 0.9.
Okay, so they have the pace, that's for sure, to give us some insane rounds. And I know that there's a start trick here where you can get a 0.1 or 0.2 lead after the drop down. Twinjo seems to be getting that quite well, and also what keeps him 0.2 ahead here. Great start. Not the best classic flick here. Trident and Brain has the chance to overtake going into the second ice. This ice turn is decided to just get gear 4, and then you have to somehow keep it on the uphill. Trident on a really interesting line. Not sure he is going to get the triangle. No. Didn't get the triangle, unfortunately. Did it? Okay, but I guess it's just the exit from Kuzi and Twinjo that was so good that I couldn't even see what the other people were going.
Yeah. I mean, they're about 3-4 tenths behind. They are having a great run. That is the most painful thing. They're having a great run and are 3-4-5 tenths behind, and Twinjo and Kuzi just holding hands until the final ice slide. Dirt flick to finish it off. Both of them get it perfectly. And now it's just the small...
Great round by Joel, this.
This is...
Alright.
Yeah, these are really strong times. My confidence in EQNX is sadly dwindling with each round, but we keep the head high.
And confidence is indeed joling right now as we move into round number 5. Twinjo again with that really nice drop down. Brain with a reactor cut, that's not allowed.
Disqualified.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll have a talk with them after the match chat about that.
Yes,
right now, the only
it is 3.5 seconds slower. So
yeah, Kuzi not on the best exit here, hits the things, the pillar, and I mean Trident is in a position right now to overtake Twinjo if Twinjo makes any sort of mistakes. So there is still a draw on the line. I don't think we can expect Brain to catch up to Kuzi here. Trident still like half a second behind. We have to rely on Twinjo to make a mistake, and Twinjo really pushing that inside, lifting his car on the ice even. He's very lucky that he doesn't get down there, but manages to keep it together and will indeed make the risky finish. Okay, that's a sub 106 still with that end. Twinjo was on a really strong run then.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Joel is freaking fast on this one. And they are proving it, and they are proving that they do potentially even have the pace for the finalists. Try to make an early mistake there. Pretty much already handing the round to Joel, as long as... but Brain can still do something against that. Although Brain struggled a little bit through the last few rounds. Now Joel just flying off into the sunset, half a second already, just 22 seconds into the round. And it's just so different from what we've seen yesterday from EQNX and Molotov, where we saw them take half a second advantage early on in the rounds, now always being like this half second behind, and it just... the difference is just so startling. Even now with Vinyo making a small mistake, still managing to stay ahead of Trident, as Trident now crashes into the outside, or just slightly touches, I guess, but still half a second behind Vinyo. Kuzi now on a bit of a cooker here, I believe.
Oh, I'm just watching Kuzi. I think he's on a proper cooker here. It looks very strong. Gets a really good dirt flick as well, and I think we are going to see one of the fastest times we've had this match.
Oh, yep. But Trident sniped. Take the small victories where you can. Kuzi with absolutely incredible time there. 1 minute 5:09. 1 minute 5.9 rather.
Yeah. Very interesting. I think. I don't have to think too much. They just need to log in Trident and get a few times sub 106. It sounds challenging, and I think it also sounds challenging in their head, because right now it's only really Kuzi and Dwincho that's been close to those times. I guess they're not making that many mistakes as well. Brain and Trident has to get this uphill well, but Trident is on a good run. Not going for the triangle again, and that is the issue. You see there, not going for the triangle, you will end up clipping the checkpoint most.
I believe that is mostly because of the exit that they are getting. They are going more tight on the exit of the ice uphill, and because of that then gives them like a really bad line to take the triangle. But yeah, this wasn't what they were hoping for. And it will be another round before
Brain is somewhat close.
But Brain just sadly crashed.
And Kuzi with a bad exit here.
Yeah, and clipping.
Oh, okay.
So it could still be a draw. Not quite. Brain just losing a little bit too much time with the crash into the pillar on the last ice slide. And it is 6-0 now for Joel. They are running away with it. They need one more to make it into the lower bracket. Final.
Some would even say they're swimming away with it. Let's see how they're doing. Trident with an early mistake.
I want more.
Not as big a mistake as they've done before.
More fish puns.
You want more? Do you want more fishing puns?
Yes.
Or do you want more fishing ponds? All right. Let's see.
Okay, Nana, you're here all week. This round, though, it is Brain fighting out front. Let's see this uphill once again. This time it is Dwinyo going for a little bit of a more inside line. Everyone makes a triangle. We actually have a close round on our hands. Kuzi and Brain fighting while Trident and Vinyo are making out the back. Just slightly clipping the dirt there. Brain now falling further behind. It's now a certain 1-3, maybe even a 1-2 here in a moment for Joel, as we're going into the final ice slide, and potentially the final ice slide that EQNX will have in this competition, and it does very much looks like it, with Kuzi and Dwinyo being in a 1-2. Great exit from both of them. I mean, Trident gets past Dwinyo, but it will not be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our second lower bracket finalist. It will be Joel taking on the team of Shift and Onyx in just a few minutes' time. And what a impressive performance this was by Joel. Commiserations to EQNX and Molotov. They played well throughout the tournament, but top 4 is all that they get.
I mean, they played well, and they ensured that the tournament lasts a bit longer with having a lot of long matches. So it seems like they got the best out of it and really pushed some other teams to the limit. But they found themselves moving into a top 4 spot in this Glacial Mix Series. So, I mean, what can you say? Definitely well played to EQNX and well performed by Brain and Trident. Curious to see now how Joel is going to match up against Darklight and Author-Time. They've had a few minutes/hours to relax now, and it's all up to them to decide when they want to play. But I think we will give players 12 minutes of a break here, and then we will be back with the lower bracket finals to figure out who will play against the two Dutchies in Alex and Chili Kanani in the final. I'm super excited to see how it's going to play out, and I'm pretty certain that we're going to have some close rounds in the upcoming matches.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I mean, who would you favor at this point? Maybe as a bit of a prediction.
I always favor the fish.
Was a perfect situation for a pun that you didn't even like. I mean, not that I can think of a pun there, but you didn't even try for one.
No, that's all good.
I mean, from what we've seen today, how can you go against Joel to make it into at least the grand final? They were extremely fast. They were extremely consistent. We saw basically no mistakes by them in either map.
No, man.
There were a few slide outs maybe, but
yeah, if we saw a mistake, I mean, Dwinjo had a few mistakes on carry on, but Kusi is just there to make up for it immediately. So I think that's just to be expected. If one of them makes a mistake, we can expect the other one to have a really strong round.
Yeah, for sure. I believe we are going to go into a short break once again. Am I correct,
Yeah.
production?
We will take a short break before we go to the next match, and we will figure out when that is. But until then, we will take a short break, and then we will see you in a couple of minutes. It's going to be a much shorter break than last time, as we are just waiting for Dark Bat and all the time to into the lobby.
See you soon.